Well, it looks like Abilene, Texas just got a surprise tech upgrade, straight from a cybercriminal's toolkit. And unfortunately, Control plus Alt plus Delete won't fix this one. In this video, we're covering the recent cyber attack on the city of Abilene, Texas, a developing story that adds to the growing list of local governments across the state falling victim to digital intrusions. From unresponsive servers to offline payment systems, here's what happened, how it's being handled, and why this isn't just a one-off incident, but part of a bigger cybersecurity problem in Texas. Stay tuned for that, but first, a huge thanks to Stonefly for sponsoring this video. Now back to the news. Late last week, Abilene city officials discovered a cyber attack in progress after internal servers suddenly became unresponsive. The city's IT department immediately sprang into action, disconnecting affected systems and bringing in external cybersecurity professionals to investigate the incident. While the full extent of the breach is still unknown, out of caution, several government systems have been taken offline. The good news: emergency services remain operational. There's been no reported compromise of financial data or unauthorized activity so far, but that doesn't mean residents aren't feeling the impact. As of Monday, all card payment systems in government offices are down. That means no credit or debit. It's back to cash or checks for in-person transactions. And while online payment options are still functional for utility bills, the city has made it clear no one will lose access to services over missed payments during this period. Service disruptions don't end there. With phones and IT systems being brought back online gradually, residents are likely to experience slower response times to service requests. City officials are monitoring emails manually and responding as quickly as possible, but delays are expected. IT teams continue working behind the scenes to restore operations and track any unusual behavior on the city's network. The city has also provided phone numbers for urgent needs, especially for water-related emergencies or time-sensitive public services. As for whether this was a ransomware attack, city officials aren't saying, and there's been no confirmation about whether federal authorities are involved in the investigation. Abilene, a city of more than 130,000 residents, located just 3 hours west of Dallas and Fort Worth, is the latest in a string of Texas municipalities to face cyber attacks. Since last year's high-profile ransomware attack on the city of Dallas, local governments across the state, including Dallas County, Tarrant County, Wichita County, and the cities of Fort Worth, Killeen, Richardson, Coppell, McKinney, and Lubbock, have all found themselves on the receiving end of cyber incidents. It's not just isolated cities either. This year alone, Matagorda County and the city of Mission both declared states of emergency due to cyber attacks that significantly disrupted critical services. The trend has become so serious that Texas Governor Greg Abbott recently launched the Texas Cyber Command, based in San Antonio. The initiative was announced in February with the goal of detecting, anticipating, and coordinating response to cyber threats across the state. Abbott emphasized the urgency by noting that within a single week, a cyber attack had hit a city, a hospital, and a business, highlighting the constant and rising frequency of these threats. During his announcement, Abbott stressed that waiting any longer to act was no longer an option. As he put it, "We cannot let any more time go by without strongly addressing this problem." And that brings us back to Abilene. While the city works to contain and recover from this attack, it serves as another reminder that local governments remain a major target for cybercriminals. These organizations often operate with legacy infrastructure, smaller IT teams, and tighter budgets, making them particularly vulnerable to modern threats like ransomware, phishing, and unauthorized network access. Whether or not this turns out to be a ransomware case, the story follows a predictable pattern: a quiet breach, disruption of services, emergency responses, and a long, slow recovery. Meanwhile, citizens are left navigating disruptions and waiting for answers. This incident is still unfolding, and will continue to monitor developments as investigators learn more about what kind of data may have been compromised, who's responsible, and how deep the damage goes. But the takeaway here is clear. this isn't just about Abilene. It's about a broader wave of cyber threats targeting municipalities and the need for aggressive, coordinated defense efforts that can match the sophistication of today's attackers. Which brings us to our sponsor, Stonefly, who are leaders in enterprise backup and disaster recovery solutions. Get a 70 terabytes air-gapped and immutable Veeam, Rubrik, Commvault site recovery, backup and disaster recovery appliance for $7,995. Contact sales@stonefly.com for details. If your city hasn't been targeted yet, it's not a question of if, it's when. We'll be keeping an eye on this story and any fallout that may come next. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a breakdown of the cyber stories that matter most.